Hello class 9, good morning. Today's Friday and as per your routine you have English paper 1 or English language, and if you remember in our last online class we were having the examples and formulae to work in our grammar portion. Now we already had 2 sittings on it, and today is the third sitting in the same exercise. Today let us see what are the exercises we can make it and try to understand with the examples being provided to you. I want you to write these all in your exercise note, right? So let us see. So it's a grammar exercises that we are discussing. This question number 5a, right? Explanation on do is directed yet continues. Okay, so let us today see besides, right? So what does besides mean? Besides mean in addition to. It means in addition to. Right? Now see here. So we are given besides in the question, and how do we change besides into not only? This is our exercise in our do is directed. So whenever we are getting besides to work with, the verb is always ing, which means continuous form, right? And we also have the word also in the sentence, right? Try to understand the example. See, besides making a promise, comma, he also kept it. So look at the framing. Besides, it has taken verb plus ing making, right? And we also have the word also in the later part of the sentence, right? So let's read again. Besides making a promise, he also kept it. Now you are asked, begin not only, right? Now to begin with not only, see, try using did when we are talking about person, right? Try using did when we are talking about person, right? And we want to keep that person alive. So see, not only did he make, so we bring a change in the verb. Making became make because we are using did, right? Whenever we are using did in the sentence, the verb is automatically present. It is in the present form, right? It is in the first form. So not only did he make a promise, but also kept it. So repetition of he is not here because we are talking about the same person, right? And we have a comma used in the sentence, and the sentence ended with a full stop, right? Not only did he make a promise, comma, but also kept it. So this is how we frame. So with not only, preferably we are using did when we are talking about person, right? And whenever we are using did, the verb becomes present, right? And we are using the word but also. Not only will take but also, right? Not only will take but also in the sentence. They must go together. They are the pairing words, right? So not only, preferably use did when you're talking about person. Whenever we are using did in a sentence, verb will be automatically present, and in the later part of the sentence we use but also, right? Because not only but also are the pairing words. So hope you understood, right? Not only. Now move on to the next one. Begin with having, right? Now having, whenever we talk about having, having is the favorite of the students because most of the time they are using the word having, right? So see how to use having now. When he finished his work, comma, he left for the party. Begin with having. Okay, now see, begin with having. Having finished his work, he left for the party. This is the construction, this is the answer, we got it, right? Having finished his work, he left for the party. So what did you learn with having? Having has taken past participle verb, finished, right? Having finished, having done, having written, having told. So the verb is always in the past participle form, right? And in a sentence you have noticed that there is no use of comma, so no comma is used, because having here is connecting the whole sentence, right? So having finished his work, he left for the party, so there is no comma used. Okay, so this is the work with having. Now move on to the next one. 13, begin with on. So how do you begin a sentence with on? Sometimes we get do a directed exercise to begin with on. So how do you work with? See, when Rahul was scolded for something he had not done, comma, he protested. Okay, so see again. When Rahul was scolded for something he had not done, he protested. Okay, begin with on. Right. So on being scolded for something he had not done, comma, Rahul protested. Right. So what did you learn here? So when we are using with on, most of the time on will also take verb plus ing. Right. And if verb plus ing is not working in the sentence, then we take the help of being. Being does the work of verb plus ing, like on going, on talking, on shouting, on writing, on reading is a framing, right? On plus verb immediately comes. But when verb plus ing cannot be functioning in the sentence, then we take the help of being. Being does the work of verb plus ing. Like here we have got, right? On being scolded for something he had not done, comma, Rahul protested. Try writing the name of the person at the next part of the sentence or the later part of the sentence. This is how we frame with on. On will take verb plus ing. Right? If verb plus ing cannot function, then take the help of being. Now move on to the next exercise, number 14. Antonyms means opposites. Sometimes the questions are also based on opposites. Right? Take an example. So for this you have to know the word opposites. Right? Because any word opposite may be asked in the question paper. Right? So example, Arun is sometimes foolish. Arun is sometimes foolish. Use not. You are asked, use not. So whenever you are said use not, then go for the opposite. Think for the opposite. Right? It is not telling you begin not. Now say when you are asked or told begin not, then antonym exercise will not function. Right? So that not will be not only. Right? We have already discussed on that. So here you are told use not. So when you are said use not, then look for the opposite of the word or words. Right? So see, Arun is sometimes foolish. We also have to remember that the meaning of the sentence should not change. However, we are transferring the sentence from one to another with the help provided or with the instruction given. But at the same time, we are not changing the meaning of the given sentence. Right? That is our test. So Arun is sometimes foolish. Use not. Arun is not. Opposite of sometimes is always. Right? Always. Foolish opposite is wise. Right? So Arun is not always wise, which means Arun is sometimes foolish. Did you get it? So for that you have to remember the word opposites. Right? So keep revising the word opposites given in the opposite books. Right? Or find out more of the opposites for your better knowledge, because any word in your test will be seen here. Right? So you got the understanding. Arun is sometimes foolish. Use not. So whenever you are indicated use not, look for the opposite. Right? It may be one word to find the opposite, or it may be more than one word to find the opposites. Right? Like here, Arun is sometimes foolish. Arun is not always wise. Right? So opposite of sometimes is always. Right? Opposite of foolish is wise. Okay, so hope it is understood. Now move on to the next number 15. As men get older, comma, they become more irritable. Look at here. As men get older, comma, they become more irritable. So here two comparatives are used. Older, more. Right? And your help is telling, your instruction is telling, begin the older. Right? Now to answer this question, you have to remember this proverb. The more you have, the more you want, right? The more you have, the more you want, right? Double use of comparative. More, more, right? So if you remember this proverb, you'll get the answer for it. So see, the older the men get, comma, the more irritable they become. The older the men get, the more irritable they become. So older is comparative here. More here is another comparative, right? So in this formula you have changed. The more you have, the more you want. The older the men get, the more irritable they become. So this is what is a test. Okay. Now move on to the next one, 16. Transferring the sentences. How do you transfer one sentence into another sentence? So this is quite a long chapter for you to understand, and though it is not a new thing for you to learn, you have already understood uh, sentence and kinds of sentences in your earlier classes. So this is only a revision for you. So let's revise and come to know how you get the answer, or how the question is given and how you get the answer for it. So see here, transferring the sentence. First of all, you need to know what is a sentence, because your exercise is based on sentence, right? So first understand what is a sentence, right? So this definition may a little bit differ than what you have learned, right? But this is the right definition, which many of the grammar book do not say, right? So what is this? A sentence is a group of words that are properly arranged and gives us a complete sense, right? In many of the grammar book, they don't write that are properly arranged. This part is missing in many of the grammar book, right? Whereas this is very important whenever we talk about sentence, right? This portion is very, very important. Why this is very important? Let me explain with the example. So once again, see the definition. A sentence is a group of words. Group of words is always given in the grammar textbook, right? That are properly arranged. This part is missing in many of the grammar book, right? And gives us a complete sense, right? Now see, what's the difference between that are properly arranged or that is not written in the definition. So see here, example, the forest is in the tiger. Try to understand this. The forest is in the tiger. It is a sentence, right? But the words are not properly arranged. They are not arranged. The forest is in the tiger, right? This is not logical, right? But it is a group of words, as said. Okay, and it is not arranged. The words are not arranged here properly. Now let's read the second sentence. The tiger is in the forest. The tiger is in the forest. Look at the number of words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 words are here. Next sentence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 words are here. We did not add or subtract any of the word, right? The same words are written in the next sentence, but the second sentence is properly arranged, right? The tiger is in the forest, whereas in the first sentence the forest is in the tiger. This is not properly arranged sentence, right? Properly arranged group of words. But in the second sentence, right, the words are properly arranged. So when the words are properly arranged, then only we get a complete sense, we get a complete meaning, right? So this is the right definition of a sentence. So whenever you are asked what is a sentence, do write this. A sentence is a group of words that are properly arranged and gives us a complete sense, right? So you must say that are properly arranged. Okay, so we saw the difference between the two sentences, right? We did not add any word, we did not subtract any word, right? But we got the right meaning of the sentence when they are properly arranged. Okay, so now see, now after we have known what is a sentence, now let's know kinds of sentences. There are 4 kinds of sentences you have already done, right? A, assertive sentence or a statement sentence. Now, what is assertive sentence or a statement sentence? The sentence which states the fact is called an assertive sentence. That means it states the truth, it states the fact. The factual sentences are called statement sentence or assertive sentence. Take an example. The sun rises in the east. There is a factual sentence. There is a truth sentence, right? So it is an assertive sentence. It ends with the full stop, right? Assertive sentence ends with the full stop, right? So like, I'm not going to school tomorrow, right? Here we saw negative, not use, but it is still an assertive sentence. It's because it is stating the truth that you are not going to school tomorrow, right? So whenever you are stating the truth, factual sentence, it is called assertive or statement sentence. Okay, now move on to the next one. B, interrogative sentence. This is a simple sentence to understand, right? The sentence that asks a question is called an interrogative sentence. So whenever you are questioned, right, that is an interrogative sentence. Take an example. Where are you going? What are you doing? What is your name? Right? So whenever a question is asked, it is called an interrogative sentence. So an interrogative sentence ends with a question mark. Right? Now move on to the next, number 3 or C kind of sentence. Imperative sentence. Now imperative sentence, the sentence which gives command, order, advice, suggestion, or makes a request is called an imperative sentence. Right? Like shut the door, pass the salt, please be quiet, right, are all the examples of the imperative sentences. Okay, then move on to D, the fourth kind of sentence, exclamatory sentence. So imperative sentence ends with a full stop. My exclamatory sentence, the sentence which gives a sudden feeling. There is a sudden feeling, right? Like surprise, a feeling of surprise, happiness, feeling of happiness, sadness, wonder, anger is called an exclamatory sentence, right? So it conveys strong emotion. Exclamatory sentence conveys strong emotion or excitement. So we have a feeling, right, expressed in this sentence, right? That is an exclamatory sentence. Look at an example. How fast he runs, right? Ends with an exclamation mark. Oh, exclamation mark. What a beautiful flower, right? What a beautiful flower. This is an exclamatory sentence because you have an exclamation mark, right? So these are the 4 kinds of sentences we have, right? And out of these 4 kinds of sentences, 2 of the kinds of sentences will be asked in the dual directed exercise, right? So how the question will be? Question will be asked on assertive sentence to exclamatory sentence. Changing assertive sentence into exclamatory is the test, because making exclamatory sentence is little difficult, right, than framing other kind of sentences, because in an exclamatory sentence you have to remember the use of exclamation. So if you are not using an exclamation mark, then you are losing marks, right? So you have to be very very conscious, you have to be very very alerted in answering this question, right? So see example, the moon looks very beautiful, right? This is an assertive sentence because this is stating the fact, this is stating the truth, right? The moon looks very beautiful, right? Now begin with how, right? Now see, how beautiful the moon looks, exclamation mark. This is an exclamatory sentence, so we have changed assertive sentence into exclamatory. This is the test, right? How beautiful the moon looks. So where do you think the word very gone, right? The very is already in the expression when we are saying how, right? The very word is already expressed in the expression of using how. How beautiful the moon looks, exclamation mark, right? So this is our exercise in sentences. How do we transfer one sentence into another sentence? And basically we are asked assertive sentence to change into exclamatory. Now move on to the next one. The use of either or, right? Now the use of either or is a 1% chance in the question, right? Because this is a very simple exercise to understand, right? Either or, they are correlative conjunctions, right? They are the pairing words. With either we use or, right? They are correlative conjunctions. Okay, the use of either or. Take an example. He cooks dinner, full stop. She cooks dinner, right? Full stop. Begin with either. Some even say either, right? And some say either. Both of the pronunciations are right. Okay, so you can take any of the pronunciations. So he cooks dinner, she cooks dinner. Begin with either. So see, either he or she cooks dinner, right? Because the work is same. Cooks dinner, right? So either he or she cooks dinner. This is our framing, right? So either is used to emphasize a choice between two things, right? Either is basically used to emphasize. Emphasize is to add force, right? A choice. We are given a choice there between two things, right? And it is a positive choice. It implies positive choice. Either or imply positive choice. Now move on to the next one. The use of neither nor, right? Now neither nor is also correlative conjunction, because whenever we are using neither, nor is also used, right? Some say neither, some say neither. Both the pronunciations are accepted. The use of neither nor. So neither nor, right, is a choice, is a negative choice, you can say, is a negative choice. So it is used when the choice is negative, right? Neither this nor that, right? So it's a negative choice. Whereas either or implies positive choice. Take an example. Raj did not bring a pen. Raju did not bring a pen, right? So did not bring a pen, did not bring a pen. So both of their actions are same, right? But we have two individuals here. We have two people. One is Raj, the other is Raju, right? So begin with neither. So neither Raj nor Raju brought a pen, right? Neither Raj nor Raju brought a pen. So this is the framing, right? When we are using neither nor. So either will take or, neither will take nor. They are the pairing words. They are called correlative conjunctions. Okay. So either or is a positive choice. Neither nor is a negative choice. Okay. This is the difference between either or, neither nor. Right. So hope you have understood. Uh, Now only limited things are left in our DOS directed exercise to understand. Most probably the two bigger chapters, active and passive voice, and direct and indirect speech, right? So these two chapters we'll have to see the next time, right? And thereafter let us do with the exercises in this chapter now, right? So write this in your exercise note and learn the workings, learn the formula, how do you work, right? And if this is understood, if this is clear, you will be able to answer any sort of question asked on this kind of exercises. Hope you understood. Thank you very much.